Sanjay, quick question on the CHIPS Act. Leader McConnell last week fired a shot across the bow, saying it might be in danger if Democrats pursue this partisan reconciliation bill. Is the industry thinking maybe this does not happen?
Well, I have to tell you, I would like to ask Democrats and Republicans on the Hill one simple thing. We must get this done. We must get this done, otherwise U.S. will fall behind. Foreign governments have been investing for decades, putting in a lot of investments into the semiconductor industry. And of course, they have also recently further added to their investments. And we must get CHIPS Act and investment tax credits across the finish line in Washington, D.C. for three primary reasons, I would say. First, semiconductor industry onshore will produce many, many tens of thousands of jobs, high-skilled jobs. If chips and investment tax credits that are currently on the plate in Washington, D.C. don't get across the finish line, then these jobs will be going overseas. We need to bring manufacturing back to the U.S. The second thing I would say is that everything today is powered by semiconductors. Semiconductors are the backbone of all industries, and that's why you see CEOs from across all industries, as well as Democratic and Republican state governors are urging the Capitol Hill to pass the CHIPS Act. And third thing I would say is national security considerations. Mission-critical infrastructure, whether it is defense systems or it is transportation or it is anything related to an energy grid, all of them, everything requires semiconductors. So we need to secure a supply chain here onshore to address national security considerations as well. And this is why we need to get chips and investment tax credits across the finish line to make sure that we have a resilient supply chain of semiconductors here in the U.S., adding to the jobs here in the U.S., as well as enabling our economic growth, giving us self-sufficiency in semiconductors, and of course, addressing our national security considerations as well.
All right. Now, Sanjay, we know that Micron is part of what we think is supposed to be boom bust. I was hoping you would change that. If you had to quantify which one of these, which one of these downturns this is 2014, 2020, 2018, 2021, which is one of those? Because if it's 2014, obviously it's too early to buy. If it's 2021 or 2020, we have to start buying right now. Which would you, having been through all these cycles, would you characterize this most like?
What I will tell you, Jim, is that this is different than the ones in the past because you see in the DRAM industry, the industry has really demonstrated capex discipline and supply discipline. And look at us. I mean, we are coming off a record quarter, and we have taken immediate action to address our supply growth. This action, this fast of action, has not been seen in the industry. So, and there has been evidence that when the capex and supply growth is managed, of course, that provides healthier industry dynamics as well. And Micron is doing its part in being agile in addressing the changing macroeconomic conditions and taking action fast. Other thing I would say is that the markets today are more diverse than in the past. For example, data center, automotive, these are becoming bigger markets. Automotive is an example that it will go twice as fast as the broader memory and storage market in the automotive due to, again, increasingly autonomous features and automobiles becoming data centers on wheels. So that, too, is a different factor than any time in the past. And Micron itself is very different from ever in the past. And that's why we think that this is an attractive time for Micron to buy more shares. We said in our earnings call that last quarter we returned $1.1 billion in share buyback plus dividends. And this quarter, given the attractive prices, we intend to be more aggressive. So, Jim, we will return back to healthy demand-supply environment because in our industry, it's not only about demand, it's also about demand and supply environment. We are taking actions, and long-term trends, again, are secular in nature with AI, 5G, data centers, and all of them requiring more intelligence from data means more opportunities for memory and storage. And Micron is well positioned to address those, Jim.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.